Oh, yes. Let's turn on a light behind me. Three, two, one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the screen looks different today because, oh my goodness gracious, we have a different kind of episode for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, on the screen that you can see right now is Daniel Eastland, our GM, our game master, our omnipotent power in the universe, the mastermind behind the juggernauts, the individual who makes this game happen. And what we have for you today in Star Trek New Worlds is a very special episode where we are going to be going over a pivotal battle going on in the turn that is yet to finish because of this pivotal battle, amongst other things. And so for today, what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through in real time this absolutely pivotal battle between the Romulans and the Klingons. Why would you want to watch this? You get to see in real time the consequence in the campaign of this catastrophic conflict between the Klingons and the Romulans. The outcome of this conflict, I cannot understate it, will be whoever wins this will sort of control the flow of the campaign one way or the other. So the outcome of this is pivotal. And two, if you are an individual who's been watching our show, interested in all things F&E, and just don't know how it is that we do all that we do, this is as the great Oz, or Daniel Eastland might say, you pull back the curtain and you can see exactly it is how that we sort of go through step by step, in this case the conflict and some of the tools that we're going to be using, that we're going to be showing. But before we dive into that, like I say, this is Star Trek New Worlds. My name is Tony. This is Daniel on the other side of the screen. Between us, you will see the chat. For those of you who are joining us live, thank you for joining us live. If you're catching us on the replay, thank you for taking the time. Star Trek New Worlds is a turn-based strategy game that we play here sort of live with you today on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube live. If you like what we do here, then please, feel free to hit that subscribe button and help us out in building the community of players who enjoy Star Trek turn-based strategy, or really just turn-based strategy. And if you want to go that extra distance and join us for the after show, then you can head down to that support link, coffee.com/New Worlds, and you can join us either with a one-time coffee donation. If you do that during the show, you will see a disruptor bolt sound effect, or rather you'll hear the disruptor bolt sound effect. You will see a notification fly up the screen, and you will see in real time your donation hitting us live, keeping us caffeinated and motivated as we work our way through this battle. But if you want to join us for the after show, then there is a tier on that coffee link for coffee and Discord. You can join us on our Discord channel, where you can partake in the witty banter, the candid back and forth, and the exciting narration and sort of story that goes into the back of this. So, Bill, is there echo? Okay, so I'm hearing feedback. There's bad feedback, people are saying. Feedback. Interesting.
Could be my microphone. I'm turning my speaker down.
Okay. Okay, so all of a sudden I'm really hot. 1 second, I'm going to turn down the temperature here.
Well, we have a high opinion of ourselves.
All right, back on the attack. Okay, so if there is any feedback, Daniel has killed the volume on his end. So, full transparency, this is the second time I think we've done it like this. The only difference here is that Daniel is not using earphones. As you can see, I'm using earphones to try and cut down on that feedback on my end. Hopefully that is sounding good for you. Paul's saying it sounds much better. Excellent. Good. All right, let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick second and say hello to everybody in the chit chat. Let's pop out that. Anytime you're ready here, YouTube, don't be shy. Give me the option. Pop out chat. Here we go. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's say hi to Eugene. Live combat. Who will prevail? Who will escape? How much damage will be taken? How long will it take to recover? Will there be cloaks? What empire will be victorious? Is this a trap? Admiral Akbar quote. Yes, well, it's all in play, so to speak. So we'll see what happens. Let the skies burn, Bill says. The Gorn harmony in full effect and stereo sound. Lots of feedback. Oh, so yeah. So hopefully we've dealt with all that feedback issue, and that's been resolved. You can't be petty. Yes, it is. Bad feedback. Daniel, mute your mic when not talking. Okay, yeah, we've done that. Paul, you can't be petty. It's Eugene. Coronis at air. It's not feedback. There are two sets of microphones that are picking up the speaker. Coronis is on the money. Coronis, thank you for joining us. You'd eliminate the echo if Daniel used earphones rather than external audio. Just a suggestion. Yes, absolutely. But, as we were saying, this is we'll call it an MVP. We decided to do this based on the sort of the status of the turn. We did this sort of like we made this decision, this audible last night. Because we saw this battle was coming and knew how pivotal it was going to be, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to sort of show this and provide you some content while the turn was not yet complete. So, totally understand. Hopefully the feedback issue has been resolved. And yes, you know what? Maybe with all those coffee donations you keep sending us, I should buy Daniel some earphones and send them to him. Maybe that's something I should do. So I'll get sorted out on that. But while Amazon is on its way delivering to Daniel, might take a little bit, let's dive into what we're talking about today. So let me set up my screens appropriately and transition to the map. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you can see here in front of us is the battle map. What we're looking at is between Daniel and I, you will see that there is the battle mat, which has all the ships involved in this particular conflict. Above them, from my perspective, on the right side, you will see these are windows from the sort of spreadsheet table that we're using to sort of make this easier. You will see on the far left of that bigger box, base, flagship, and a bunch of numbers. These are the units involved in any particular battle, which are represented in the battle map. And we'll go over that as we go on. You'll see the attacker and the defender and numbers associated with them. Those are the attack factors. You'll see the total at the bottom, and then we're just calculating the total numbers. On the left of that, you will see an attacker and defender battle intensity rating table. Now, it might be harder for you to see, especially if you're looking at this on your phone, but I'm just throwing it up there so if you want to zoom in on it. It's a quick reference. We're using it as a quick table to be able to identify how much damage is inflicted in any particular round. No one wants to be sitting here with a calculator trying to figure this out every 2 seconds. So this table helps us do that quickly. So to give us a depiction of what's happening here today, along the border between the Romulan and the Klingon Empire, there was one remaining Romulan base, a YDK, that was providing extended supply or providing supply into Klingon territory. Over the past number of turns, the Romulans have been incredibly effective at devastating and eliminating Klingon infrastructure, i.e. bases. The one saving grace is that there has been a number of planets that provide supply that the Klingons have been able to use as a way station to be able to continue the push or the pressure on the Romulans as they advance. The Romulans, on the other hand, have had a number of bases which have been, over the past couple of turns, systematically eliminated or damaged by special agents as we've been moving forward. As it stands right now, the YDK on the very edge of the border, on the Romulan side between the Klingons and the Romulans, is the last outpost of supply for the Romulans. There are certainly bases behind it, but this is the last forward supply point that's allowing them to be able to operate in Klingon space. Leading up to this, there were a number of Romulan attacks into Klingon space. Klingons were building en masse fleets of ships and moving them forward. In the last turn, 2 of these fleets, Home Fleet and Red Fleet specifically, moved to engage significant Romulan forces. As was the case with many of our encounters with the Romulans, they decided discretion was the better part of valor and stepped back from that conflict, was able to avoid a pivotal battle. And that has been the theme with the conflicts between the Klingon and the Romulans to this point. The lack of pivotal battles where any substantive amount of casualties have been incurred by the Romulans. Don't get me wrong, the Romulans have been effective, incredibly effective at delivering damage and casualties to the Klingons. We just haven't been able to pay them back in kind. Today, that changes. Because this base, the YDK, is such a pivotal and crucial supply point for the Romulans and their offensive, it is also the only substantive repair capacity facility in operational range for these ships, and the amount of damage that could potentially occur with all the various ships and all the damage that they've been doing to the Klingons requires that they start repairing some of their vessels to be able to maintain their offensive capability. The importance of this base cannot be understated. So the fact that perhaps the Romulans saw what the Klingons were planning, they saw what could have been telegraphed as to what was going to occur, and they moved ships back to defend it, was probably a good idea, because the amount of Klingon ships that have arrived is substantive. So when I did the rough calculations on the total attack and defense factors for each side, this is the number I came up with. Where are we here? Okay, so the Romulans in this hex have a total number of attack factors of 120. That's all their ships combined. Their attack factors are 120, and including the base that they have. They have 175 defense factors. So 120 attack, 175 defense. The Klingons have a total of 196 total attack factors and 190 defense. Now, one of the big, or I'll say 2 big pivotal factors in this combat as we go forward will be the fact that the Romulans have 4 Y-era Falcons. These Y-era Falcons are maulers. They are a 7 attack, 7 defense ship, meaning that when a mauler is used, which is only 1 mauler can be used per turn, the mauler can deliver 7 directed points of damage to any particular target, or 2-to-1 in formation bonus, I believe. Daniel might correct me on that, but 2-to-1 if it's in formation bonus, meaning that when you calculate all the damage that's created, 7 of that damage can go directly to a single target. 7 points of damage is enough to cripple any ship in the Klingon fleet. That's going to be pivotal. He's got 4 of those, by the way. He also has 3 vultures, which are his dreadnoughts. These are 10 command factor ships, so big thing there. They're also 8 attack, 10 defense. The combination of those 2 ship types, the numbers of them that he has, a total of 4 Falcons, 3 vultures, and of course the YDK, create a very difficult scenario for the Klingons. However, on the Klingon side, we have the ever-glorious battle tug, the TGAM with 2 battle pods. Why is that important? Well, it gives them 10 command factors, but it has an 11-12 attack defense, which is pretty good. We have a lot of cruisers in this particular formation, 3 D7Cs, a D6M, but as we just mentioned, those Falcons may pop those quickly. The real advantage here is the amount of chaff, or little ships, that the Klingons have brought to this particular fight. The F5C, which is basically like a light cruiser, it's a beefed-up destroyer for all intents and purposes, and we've got 8 of those. 10 of them total. 2 of those 10 are crippled. We've got 9 destroyers, F5s, 17 E4Ms. Those little bad boys pack a punch. But the problem is, with 4 attack but only 3 defense, that 3 defense starts to show its vulnerability very early on in a battle. So we'll see how that goes. And both sides have EW. The Klingons bringing their E4S Scout, and the Romulans having not only their M-era survey ship, the Pelican, the PE, which you will see on the battle mat there on the very bottom back row for the Romulans, but also they have their YDK, which has EW. So what we're going to do here and how this is going to go forward, or how this normally works from a player perspective. Players submit, or rather the GM will send out the battle, meaning that Daniel, sent out to us an email to both myself and the Romulan player showing the distribution of ships and basically what's in the battle hex. We then write our battle orders, or our intent, without knowing what the other person's going to do. Because we are a turn-based game and this isn't being played in real time, we have to anticipate what could potentially happen, and our battle orders, once sent, are set in stone. We can't sort of, like, what's going to happen here is I, as one of the players, I'm just going to facilitate the processing of the battle, but I can't make any changes to my battle orders. And just to keep me on the straight and narrow, we have, of course, Daniel over there watching me. So that's how this is going to go. If at any point changes are going to be made, Daniel will let us know. But I will start off by, and you might see us. Oh, I'm going to try. How am I going to do this? There we go. Yeah. There we go. Too many screens. Here we go. So ladies and gentlemen, the Juggernaut. Wow, multitasking, Daniel, has fired a disruptor bolt of caffeinated goodness. Let me take a quick sip to wet my whistle, because there's a lot of talking going on. Oh, yeah. I think Daniel's saying that he wants some earphones. Okay, so where is the hex in question? Here we are. So I wrote my battle orders. I'm going to read them for you now, so that you can understand how I wrote what I wrote, or how I'm conveying what I want to do. Now, nothing's going to change here. And Daniel, before this battle's being run, we're coming up with a template to make it easier for the game master to be able to process these things. Because as you can imagine, with as many as 10 players in this game, everyone writing their intent or battle orders differently, it can get a little confusing, harder for the GM to really map out what it is you want to do. So as we go forward in the game, we're going to start using this template going forward. It'll make things easier for everybody. But let me read you what it is that I wrote. So battle orders. Mission. Destroy the YDK. Sorry, that wasn't part of the battle orders. TGAM. +2 battle pods is my command ship. The E4SN is in the scout box, using EW for best effect. Now, to be fair, the EW of a E4S is 1, so that's all I got. And then additionally there, I say pursue any retreating ships. I just add that in because at the end of the battle, when there's the option to retreat, assuming there is no base in place, then there is an option for one of the two factions to pursue any retreating ships, assuming the formation is retreating. So I've broken my battle orders into 2 phases. Phase 1, maximum BIR, battle intensity rating. Direct damage to the following ships which are not in formation bonus. So what is that? So when ships are in formation bonus, they have naturally a 3-to-1 protection, meaning that every 3 points of damage, if you're directing damage to them, every 3 points of damage equals actual 1 point of damage. So you have to generate 3 to inflict 1. So that's the objective here. Normally, directed damage when not using a mauler is 2-to-1, so that's important. The ships in a battle line that benefit from formation bonus are anything in the back line. So you can see on the battle line here for the coalition, the red side, the PE and the YFB are both in that 3-to-1 category, and the Vulture M is currently in formation bonus as the command ship. The command ship does not need to be in the formation bonus box, but it can be, and it is. So direct damage on the following ships which are not in formation bonus, giving me the best chance to hit them. The YFAL, those maulers I was talking about, when they are uncrippled. The VULM, which is the Vulture. So if he's got more than one Vulture, which you can see here, he's got 3 of them, all 3 of them in the battle line, 2 of which are not in the formation box, so uncrippled. Then the YFAL crippled, and the VULM crippled. So I'm distinguishing the difference between uncrippled and crippled versions of those 2 ships. Why? Because when a mauler is crippled, it is no longer able to use its mauler capability. When a mauler does use its mauler capability, there is a percentage chance that it can be crippled, like this massive cannon that overloads all its systems and then it goes into shock. It rolls for shock, which is the terminology in the rules. And if it fails that roll, then it will be crippled, and then it can no longer use that weapon. So if by chance he uses that weapon and cripples the ship, I don't want to target an already crippled ship. I want to take out that capability as quickly as possible. That's the intent there. So YFAL, VULM, uncrippled, crippled. Once all YFAL and VULMs are not in formation bonus are crippled or destroyed, move to phase 2. Phase 2. Move to phase 2. And then this is my sort of damage distribution for phase 1. F5Cs will take crippling damage and be destroyed. Destroy F5Cs sequentially, meaning F5C gets crippled, then an F5C gets destroyed, then I move on to the next F5C to get crippled and destroyed. That's different from the way many of us distribute damage, meaning we want to save our ships, so we cripple all of them and swap them out for uncrippled ships, and then only after all of our ships are crippled do we start destroying them. So that's a distinction, which may not serve me well. We'll see how that goes. But there's a strategy behind that, and I'll speak about that depending on how this battle goes. If it's panning out, I'll let you know. So anyways, destroy F5C sequentially. Continue with this sequential damage resolution. Completely destroyed a ship before moving to the next to resolve battle damage. So replace with crippled F5C. So once the ships, all the F5Cs are destroyed, replace with the 2 crippled F5Cs that are there, replace with F5Ms and E4Ms. So basically the idea there is that as ships are being destroyed, I'm repopulating ships with the sort of the best version to maintain the best battle line. Phase 2. So moving into phase 2. Max Burr, normal damage distribution. So after all those criteria that were met, move on to phase 2. Phase 2, max BIR, normal damage distribution, meaning that I'm crippling ships and then, normally crippling ships, not this sequential thing I was talking about. To amplify that, cripple all ships before destroying them. F5C will take crippling damage, F5M will take crippling damage, E4M will take crippling damage, F5M will be destroyed, E4M will be destroyed. Swap out crippled ships with uncrippled ships. Continue until all Klingon ships are destroyed or all Romulan ships and base are destroyed. Ships will remain in hex, no retro. Those are my battle orders. Now, as I'm reading that, I realized that one thing I normally put in here, which I did not put in, which is best battle line for attack factors. Now, I didn't put that in. We'll see how this goes. But, well, yeah, we'll go. So those are my battle orders. Now, we won't read Dave's necessarily because Dave hasn't had the opportunity to give us permission to do that. So all cool and copacetic. So let's stand by and get ready here. Now, just as a celebratory issue, the thumbnail for this was brews and battle. So it would not be appropriate without having a brew ready to go. This beverage will be cracked once the battle is completed. And if you want to join us on our after show party or after show broadcast, which will be on our Discord channel, you can do so by heading over to that link down below over there. And you can join us at the Coffee and Discord, and then you can join us on our Discord channel, and you can join us for that witty banter, that repartee, and in my case, the beveraging that I will be partaking in.
Did you not get me a brew?
In the middle of a Saturday. All right. That's a lot of talking. Daniel, is there anything that I missed or that you would like to add to?
Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Okay. Interesting. Hang on a second.
Oh, yes. You can. I can see that your audio is showing up on the live stream. I just can't hear you.
Okay.
Which
hang
means,
on. So you can hear me if I do this.
I can hear you now.
I'm guessing there's an echo now for everyone else, though. That means we're going through Discord, so you can hear me, and we're going through the thing, so everyone else can hear me. We'll see how this works out. First of all, you didn't get me a brew, did you?
I don't have a brew. I can't send you a brew. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay. Second of all, I just want to say the reason I don't have headphones is because you literally cannot tell me apart from Tony if we're both wearing headphones. It's just impossible. And I didn't want anyone to be confused about what's going on. So
that's fair. It's fair.
Just being careful. All right. So I have the instructions for the Romulan fleet in front of me as we go through this, and I should be able to execute these instructions as we proceed.
Okay. So if you will look, for those of you who are watching, if you look at the top, you'll see that the attacker and defender lines in that bigger box above the battle mat currently has laid out our first round of battle. So we have the attacker, which is me. So my flagship is the TGAM, which has a total attack of 11. Then we have the 3 D7Cs, which have a 9 attack each. We have the D6M, which has 7. We have the F5Cs, which make up the remainder, and they're all 5 attacks. So that brings our total to 75. When we look at the defender, they have their base, which provides them 8 attack. George says, this audio configuration is actually best for us on YouTube. No echo and feedback. Awesome. So I don't know what that is, but that works. Perfect.
Okay.
So the base is 8 attack, and it's in its own category there because it's not part of the command. It doesn't add to the command factor in the battle line. So it's a really sort of valuable thing when dealing with the base, unless you're using the base as the command ship, in which case it just takes away a slot for a command ship. Little trick. If you have a ship that has a command factor of 10 and you have a base that has an equal command factor, use the ship as the command ship just to get you more attack factors in the battle. So the flagship is the Vulture. He has a total of 3 of them, so you can see 8, 8, 8, 3 of those. He's got 3 Maulers. So this is an interesting thing about the Maulers. So he's got 3 Maulers in the battle line. Daniel, do you want to share with us the sort of the limitation around Maulers and how they can and cannot be used in a battle line because of their special Mauler designation?
Right. So a Mauler is an incredibly short-ranged, high-powered weapon that is almost as dangerous to the ship firing it as its targets. But one of the rules with a Mauler is Maulers can't operate alone. They have to have consorts. So for every Mauler in your battle line, it needs to have 2 consorts with it to help, line up the enemy ships and arrange them into place and provide some protection for the Mauler as it comes in. Because of this limit, because each Mauler requires 2 consorts, you can never have more than 3 maulers in a battle line, because that's 9 ships right there.
And as we'll go forward here, you can only use 1 mauler ability at a time. So you can, instead of having 3 maulers lined up like a sort of like an old school cannon line and just like unload all 3 at the same time, you only use 1 at a time because it's such a disruptive weapon. So, but the YFALs are 7 attack ships. It's one of the best ships he's got in his battle line. So that's why he's got all three of the 4 currently listed there. So you got 3 of those. And then the remainder are a mix of 3 King Eagles, or KEMs, which are essentially heavy command cruisers. He's got 3 of those. And, oh, correction, he's got 4 of those. My mistake. 4 of those. And then he's got a Snipe B. So that means that, oh, here we go. So I'm making a slight, yeah, I get it right. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, which are the KEMs, and then 1, 4 here, which is the SMB. So that means the total attack factors are 75 for the Klingons, 81 for the Romulans. We did this sort of calculation at the very beginning about EW because EW is really important. When you have one side that has an EW unit and the other one does not, you automatically get a +1, no calculation required. But when both sides have it, you have to calculate the newt. If you're curious about what newt is, I have a tutorial on it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, another coffee has been fired. It'll pop up here in the chat momentarily. Cheers to whenever it decides to pop up. Oh, so it Klingon feedback loop fired the coffee. Well, thank you very much. All right. So variable BIR, EW is where we're at. EW, we have to calculate the newt. And the big thing about the newt is there has to be a difference of 2 for any substantive change to happen. So the base, the Romulan base, has a number of different power levels for its EW, and then the PE has an ability to do EW. So based on the instructions from Dave, what is the total EW from the Romulan side? Daniel.
Dave's instructions were to have maximum firepower from the YDK base, which means it's only generating 1 EW. And then their survey ship in the back line is generating 2 EW for a total of 3.
Total of 3. Now the E4S, which is the Klingon scout, generates 1 EW. So 1 little EW versus the Mammoth 3 makes a difference of 2. Now, without showing you the table, when you go to that newt table, you need a difference of 2 to affect any change. So without a difference of 3 or more, there's no EW shift here. So no EW is not a factor. So as we started off the battle, as you heard in the Klingon battle order, I said max BIR. I can pick between 2 and 4. Actually, did we decide or does M era get us to the point where we can go 1? Or is that
there is a tech you can research that gets you to 1?
Right. Okay. So basically the choices on the table are 2 to 4 as options. I picked 4. The Romulans have picked 2. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to roll. Where's my die roller? There is a die roller in Vassal. I just need to find it. 1 second. It was
right.
Here.
So in the vagarities of battles, as these fleets are clashing and mixing with each other, even though they have a plan to only keep the battle at a certain intensity, plans can go awry. And this die represents like the accidental confluences of ships getting too close together or not as close as they'd planned.
All right. So I have a die roller. I have not added it to the screen so you could see it, which is a mistake on my end. So we can do one of 2 things here. We can either have Daniel as an impartial. So normally Daniel likes to roll dice, and we love the fact that he rolls dice because it's very analog and it replicates the tabletop experience. So either Daniel can roll the dice and let us know as an impartial judge, or you're going to trust me that I'm going to hit the button and it's going to represent the number. I feel like Daniel's the better option. Besides, you might actually hear that die roll on this table. What do you think, Daniel? What do you want to do?
I can roll the dice if that's what you want.
Boom! Let's roll them dice. All right, so We're right now we're rolling for variable BIR. As a reminder to everybody, if you roll a 1, it's a -2 shift. If it's a 2, it's a -1 shift. If it's a 3 or a 4, no change. 5 is a +1, and a 6 is a +2. Daniel, was that a 4 that you just rolled?
That was a 4 that I just rolled.
So there is no change to BIR. Our total BIR for this first round of battle is 6. So with 6 as our BIR, now we roll a die 6 for the attacker first, then the defender, and then that determines how much damage we're going. So here we go.
Okay, the attacker rolls a 5.
Attacker rolls a 5.
The defender rolls a 3.
Okay, so I should write this down so I don't, because I have a brain of goldfish. So attacker 5. Defender 3. So, as per the table, which you might be able to see there in the top corner, with a 6 on the attacker and 5 rolled, that means we have a total. You can see it slightly highlighted there. We have 26 damage inflicted on the Romulans by the Klingons, and in reverse, the Romulans are inflicting, with a BIR 6 and a roll of 3, they are inflicting 24 points of damage. Ooh, rough. Okay, so let's resolve the attacker's damage as per the battle orders first. So
how much damage is that?
Sorry, say again?
How much damage is that?
There is 24 damage being inflicted upon the Klingons. So I have 24 points of damage to resolve. This is going to be a pain in the ass.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to cripple the snipe for 5.
No. Sorry, I'm resolving the attacker's damage first. Or sorry.
Okay. Cool. Wait. Then.
It doesn't matter.
You're resolving your damage first, correct?
So sorry, we'll resolve the defender's damage first. So the defender has 26 damage being inflicted on it. So the Romulans are taking 26.
Yes. Okay. So the Romulans cripple the snipe for 5.
Cripple the snipe for 5.
They cripple the KEM for 8. So
Cripple
13.
8.
Cripple another KEM for 8.
Oh my goodness.
That's 21.
21.
And they cripple another KEM for 8. It's 29.
Okay, 29. So for everybody watching at home, 29 minus the 26 means that they now have 3 minus points. 26. So they have 3 minus points, meaning that whatever damage gets inflicted upon the Romulans next turn, you take away 3 when we're resolving the damage. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's the crippling damage there. And as per the Klingon orders, we're just going to destroy these F5Cs. So we'll just...
Wait a second.
Sorry?
There are Romulan orders for direct damage.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. You're so right. Let's. I'm gonna reverse all that damage because the Klingons also have directed damage orders, right?
That's correct. See, look at us. We're so new at this.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the directed damage was to focus on the YFAL uncrippled first, and then the VULM uncrippled first. So that's different. So you can only focus. You can only do directed damage on 1 unit at a time. So we're focusing on
one unit per round. Yes.
Yeah, per round. So what ends up happening is you can do the directed damage, and you have to be able to deliver enough directed damage to cripple a unit. Otherwise, it's not directed damage. It just gets resolved normally. So obviously, in this case, that will not be an issue. So 26 damage divided by 2 right off the bat, because the ships we're targeting are not in formation bonus, which gives us a number of 13. So
it's easier if you just say, I want to direct against the Falcon, and it takes 14 of my 26 damage.
Okay, there you go. However, if once it's crippled, because we're targeting the uncrippled version, it'll still take the rest of that damage. We might pop the entire thing.
So 6 more kills it.
So
it takes 20 total points of directed damage to kill that Falcon.
Then we've killed a Falcon, and there's 6 points remaining to resolve. Okay,
so the snipe will then cripple.
What I'm going to do is, in order to manage destroyed ships, just so we can keep track of them, I'm going to move them to the very back here. So this is where these destroyed ships are going to be. Okay, so that's 6 remaining. What was the ship that's getting crippled?
The snipe will cripple and die.
Oh. Oh, okay. So
that's 27 total points.
All right, so that means there's a -1 for next turn. So that's 2 ships destroyed. Interesting. Okay, so 2 ships destroyed. And now the directed damage on the Klingons. I am with bated breath waiting for this to happen.
Okay, they direct kill your scout.
Oh, mother truckers.
So here's how it works. Your scout has a 3 defense.
Yep.
But it is a scout operating in the scout slot. So it gets a +1 to its defense. So it has a 4. Because it also has the formation bonus, it takes triple damage. So 12 of their damage cripples that ship.
Yep. Okay.
And then 6 more kills it.
Whoa. So that's 18 damage. Mother trucker. 18 damage. So there's 6 remaining to resolve.
And that's up to you.
Mother trucker.
They're clever.
Oh, it won't let me put it there. All right, I'm going to put it on the over. No, I can't do that. It won't let me put it up there. So, tell you what, I'm going to put the Romulan destroyed ships over on the left side. I will put the Klingon destroyed ships over on the right. Sorry, left side Romulan, right side Klingon at the bottom here. Goodness gracious. Okay, so 6 remaining will cripple an F5C.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Cripple F5C. So that means there's a -1 point for the Romulans going into next round. Or sorry, -1. Yes, -1 for the Romulans going in next round. No modifier for the Klingons going into next round. Now, I didn't write this the right way. It's my fault. So Daniel gets to make the executive decision.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're filling in for best effect, and you always do that every time. So that's cool.
Okay. So in that case, what happens at the beginning of the battle round, you get to redetermine what you're going to put up in the battle line. So this F5C, which is crippled, is going to join the crippled reserves here. There is a non-crippled F5C that is going to join in here. So effectively no change on the attacker's total compot. What are the Klingon, or what are the Romulans going to do?
They are doing a flat-out replacement. A Y-Fal replacing a Y-Falcon, and a new snipe is jumping in.
Boom. So why is that great? We don't have to change the calculator. That's awesome. Okay. Round 1.
Makes life easier.
Complete. Round 2. Fight.
Round 2. Again, every round you do this variable BIR, so you never quite know how intense things are going to be.
Oh my goodness. 6! Oh my god, that's a +2, baby. Woohoo! All right, so we're going to add control. Boom, boom. So there's a +2 on the BIR, making our total burr. Oh, sorry. The Klingons are maintaining a 4, and are the Romulans maintaining a 2?
They are.
Okay, so that's a total of 8 burr now. Oh, that's interesting. Now there's an EW shift. So because one side has EW units and the other one does not, there's a it's essentially a -1 shift for the Klingons, which is going to suck. Now we roll for damage.
All right. The Klingons roll a 6, modified to a 5.
Mm-hmm.
The Romulans roll a 4, non-modified.
Okay. So 5-4. Curses. Okay, so we're at 8 with a 5. Means that the Klingons are inflicting 30 points of damage on their opponent. The Romulans with a 4, are inflicting also 30 points of damage on their opponent. So equal amounts of damage either way. Okay. Well, let's resolve the damage on the Romulans first. So we know that as per last round, we're still in phase 1 as per the battle orders of the Klingons. So we're directing damage against YFAL. So the YFAL
20 points to kill
is going to get another 20 points of damage to kill it. So that means there's 20 points and then 10 points remaining. So we'll kill this YFAL. Put it back here. I'll just stack it. And then there is 10 points remaining. So how
9, because there's a -1 being carried over.
Right. Absolutely. So -1. Thank you for catching that. So there are 9 points remaining. So how would they like to resolve the 9 points of damage?
The snipe will cripple and a king eagle will cripple.
So that was a 5. Hold on, brain. 5 and 8. So 5 and 8 is 13, meaning there is a -4 to carry over to next turn for
Correct.
the Romulans. Okay, so for the Klingons, we're taking.
Hang on.
Is there 2 ships?
Yeah.
There? Oh,
So that's 30 damage to the Klingons, correct?
Yes, and they want to direct it. So let's see what you're directing.
Okay, they are directing against the D6M.
Okay.
So 7 points is just 7 points.
Oh,
and
man.
that cripples it.
Mother trucker. Cripples it.
And then they'll do 8 more to kill it.
Wow. Well, we'll just move that guy over there. And then 8 more to kill it, which is still 15 points remaining. God damn it.
This is a bloody battle.
All right. Bring it on, Donkey Kong. All right, so there's 6 to cripple this, 3 more to kill it. So that's 9 points to destroy the F5C, meaning we have 6 remaining, and I will cripple the F5C. God.
Copy that.
All right. How would the Romulans like to refresh their battle line?
The Romulans are going to take in their last King Eagle, put it in the battle line, and a Battle Hawk and a Snipe Bee. Now, just a note here, you'll see that the Romulans have a tug in the background, a rescue tug.
Mm.
And a rescue tug has a special mission where when a ship's destroyed, it can try and step in and keep that ship from being destroyed. Normally, you'd see them trying to save these Falcons, but you can't save a ship that's killed by directed damage.
All right. So Paul's saying, Tony, you have put 5 F5C back in. The one F5C that was killed is in the back row here, at the bottom of the screen. So it's dead. And so currently the number of casualties that have been inflicted is 1 F5C has been destroyed, E4SM has been destroyed, and the D6M has been destroyed. There was 1 crippled F5C, which I slid over to the reserves because it was just crippled, and so we swapped it out with a fresh F5C, and so that's why it slid over that way. So the Klingons, as refreshing their battle line, Daniel, how would you like me to, in accordance with the battle orders, how would you like me to do that? I have currently 2 slots available and 1 crippled F5C to possibly replace. I have 1 F5C uncrippled in the reserves, 1 F5C uncrippled, 3 crippled,
right,
and a whole bunch of F5s and
so
E4.
We're in the first phase of battle where you had requested that the F5Cs take destruction, right?
Yes.
So I think that means that the crippled F5Cs go into the lineup too.
They do. Just want to make sure that we're on the same page there. Okay.
Right.
So the non-crippled F5C that still remain goes in, and then I have 3 cripples. So one of those 3 cripples goes into the battle line, meaning that we currently have in the Klingon battle line, we have 2 crippled F5Cs, 5 uncrippled F5Cs, 3 D7Cs, and the TGAM. So that changes the battle calculation ever so slightly. So if we go here, we're going to change that to a 3, change that to a 3. So my total compot is now 71 versus the, what was it before? Whatever it was before.
Right. And for the Romulans, that top 7 is now a 5?
Sorry, say.
So
yes. So yeah, we'll go through the battle line for the Romulans as well. So they got 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. They've got a 7. They've got 2 7s. Oh, top one's a 5. Oh yeah. Because no, hold on. Let's go.
I just fixed it.
So we've got. Hold on. I'm going to because Daniel can't see the battle mat right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3 vultures. So 8, 8, 8. Then we've got 1, 2 falcons. So I'll go 7, 7. I've got a BHM, which is a 4 attack. I've got 4 King Eagles, so 5, 5, 5, 5, and then a SMB, which is a 4, which means total attack factor for the defender is 78, total attack factor for the attacker Klingons is 71. That's where we are at.
Those prime teams are actually making quite a difference for the Romulan, too.
Say again?
Those prime teams are actually making quite a difference for the Romulans.
Yeah, mother trucker. Got all sorts of wonderful things to say about those. All right. So as per battle orders, Klingons are remaining a 4 battle intensity rating. Romulans maintaining a 2.
Yes.
And let's roll for variable BIR. Is a 1, so it's a -2. Oh, interesting. Well, this will make an interesting round. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So -2 makes us a 4. Wow. Oh, that's an interesting number. Okay, 4 battle intensity rating.
Which, by the way, is the minimum battle intensity rating for a Mauler to function.
So if we were at a lower BIR, a Mauler would not be able to function?
Correct.
Interesting.
BIR 1, 2, 3, no Maulers.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 4 for the Klingon, adjusted down to a 3.
3, okay.
And I rolled a 4 for the Romulans.
Okay. Well, this is going to be bad for the Klingons. But because it's such a minimal burr, it's not so bad. So we rolled a 3 for the Klingons, and a 4 burr gives us a total of 18 damage inflicted upon the Romulans. And the Defender is a 4 with a 4 burr, means 21 damage is inflicted upon the Klingons. So we know that it takes 20 damage to be able to destroy a YFAL. So we can certainly cripple a YFAL, but we can't, with the directed damage, we can't kill it. So we can't change its status, meaning that, what does that mean? That means that out of the 18, only 14 damage is directed. 14 being...
It's 14 damage because you had 4 minus points.
There you go. Thank you for reminding me. See, this is why Daniel is so good, keeping me on track. So the -4 points means the total damage is 14, which is just the perfect amount to cripple a YFAL. So that's all we're doing. Just crippling, no destruction. Boop. All right. Well, that's quick and easy for that to resolve. All right, let's take some battle damage. 21 battle damage for the Klingons. I imagine there were some directed damage instructions.
There are indeed, directing against the D7C.
Okay, and so if they're going to go, that's 18 damage. Oh, no, sorry, because they have the Mauler. So 7 of that damage is directed. Takes us down to...
Oh, and by the way, I'm rolling for shock, just to make sure.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been keeping track of that. So just for the shock rule, can you remind us what that is?
Every time a Mauler fires its weapon, there's a chance the ship will shake apart and get crippled all on its own. And if I roll a D6, and on a 5 or a 6, a 1 in 3 chance, it cripples itself on firing.
All right. So as you showed us, it was a 3, so it didn't cripple. So 7 of that damage gets directed against the D7C. It needs...
Right.
So that'll cripple it. But we'll
hang on. Here's how it works. 7, and then 4 more, because we're directing it, so we actually have to do the damage.
Right.
So it takes 11 damage to cripple it, and then 10 damage to kill it.
So 11 damage takes us down to 10, and it's crippled, and then it would take another 10 damage to kill it. So we're killing it.
Yep.
All right. So that's Mother Trucker killing my good ships. Beeswax. All right, so that's man. The Klingons are getting some serious casualties here. This is not good. Okay, so that's destroyed. Lovely, and no plus or minus points carrying over for either side.
For either side.
But I've got. Oh yeah, my damage is already resolved. Okay, so as per the orders, we're going to slide in an F5C to take the place. I'm just going to reshuffle this so it's a little bit easier. Whoop. So I'm going to put in another crippled F5C in the battle line. And so now we currently have the TGAM. I'll just adjust the numbers here. So TGAM, 2 D7Cs at 9. We have an F5C at 5 attack. 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 F5C at 5 attack. And then 3 3s. 3, 3, 3. Total attack factor of 63 for the attacker. The Defender, how are the Romulans going to swap out their battle line?
That poor crippled Falcon is pulling out of the line, and a Battlehawk is going to replace it.
Battlehawk. Okay. So now we go down the line. We've got 888. No change there. We've got 17. Then another Battlehawk, followed by a Battlehawk, followed by KE5, or sorry, KEM, which is a 5, a 5, a 5, a 5, and a 4. That brings our total attack factor. Oh, I'm going to lose this battle. This is not good. 75 for the defender. Brutal.
Yep.
Okay. Round 4. Fight! Okay, so battle intensity rating remains max for the Klingons as per the battle orders.
And 2 for the Romulans.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it would have been smarter to go minimum bird or whatever. But regardless, maximum bird, that's where I'm at. The Romulans maintaining minimum bird.
Yep.
Ooh, 6. It's a +2 this time. Oh, I like them numbers. Although, to be fair, because my attack factor total is substantially less than the defender, I don't know that this works out to my benefit. But, right. So our total BERT is 8. Goodness gracious. Now to roll for the attacker and the defender.
The Klingons roll a 2, modified down to a 1.
Shite.
The Romulans roll a 3.
Oh, God, that sucks. Okay. Oh, my God. Well, at least I inflict 19 points of damage upon the Romulans. And the Romulans are going to inflict, oh, shizer, 28. Is that right? Oh, my God. 28 points of damage on me. That sucks. Okay. Bring it on, baby.
Wait, 26.
Sorry?
26, right? We're BIR 8.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Gotcha.
That was a finger fumble on my part. Okay, so, hey, I don't mind taking 2 less points of damage. All right, so 26 to 19. So 19 attack on the those guys there, Romulans, right? So as per last time, out of those 19, no negative, no minus points on this one. So I need 20 to kill it. So I can only inflict 14 to cripple it. And then the rest will be resolved normally. So there is 5 points of damage to resolve normally. How would the...
Can you guess?
Snipe?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. So snipe done. All right. So that's that battle damage resolved. And then 28 points of damage. Mother trucker. Okay. So we're going
21 to kill the D7C.
Right.
With the very last firing of the Falcon.
What is... remind me. Was it 4... What was the total number to kill it?
21 total.
So it
with the Mauler. So
it needs... Oh, hold on. My math is...
Right, so the Mauler does 7,
right,
leaving 2.
Right.
So 4 more damage, or 11, cripples it.
Right.
And then it's 5 on the backside, so that's 10 more. 11 and 10 is 21.
Right, 21. So there's 5 points remaining, so we'll just remove this bloody...
And that's dealer's choice?
Bastard. 5 remaining. So we're going to kill 2 of these F5Cs. That is the, as per the instructions. So 2 F5Cs...
Giving you -1?
Sorry, say again?
Giving you a -1 in next round?
-1 for next round. Okay, so whoop. Klingons are getting a -1 for next round. And let's repopulate our battle line. I have 1 more crippled F5C to throw into the mix. But now we're going to start tapping into our F5s.
So many.
Okay, so let's go back down the attacker battle line and fix that. All right, so we have lost... We've lost so many of my D7Cs. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3... let's reorganize that so it's a little bit nicer. Sorry, I'm just reorganizing. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight F5C. So 1, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 2 F5Ms, which are a 4 attack, 4, 4. And then we have 2 crippled F5Cs, which are 3 and 3, bringing my total attack factor to 59. The Romulans, how are they going to swap out?
They're going to take out the crippled snipe, the crippled Falcon, and put in 2 snipes. Okay. They're down to the dregs.
So I'm just going to clone 1, 2, 3. So what I'm doing here, folks, is I'm cloning 3 snipes because there is this 3 snipe counter right here, and there's only 1 of them. So I'm going to eliminate that counter. I'm just going to delete it. Delete. And I've replaced it with 3 individual snipes just so I can manage this. So Battlehawks move up, and 2 snipes remaining. Actually, you know what? I'll do this just to make it easier. to manage. And another snipe. Okay, so let's go down the attackers' battle line. So we've got 8, 8, 8. Boom, boom, boom. We've got KEM5, and another KEM5, another KEM5, another KEM5. We got a Battlehawk at 4 and 4, and we got 2 snipes at 4 and 4. We are now at 59 attack for the Klingons, 72 attack for the Romulans. Booyah. All right. This is going to...
Phase 2, correct?
No, because we still haven't crippled the remainder of the vultures.
Oh, correct. Okay, gotcha.
But phase 2 shortly. Okay.
Okay.
So we have a -1 point going in. What is our burr, my friend?
2 from the Romulans.
2 from the Romulans, 4 from the Klingons. Variable burr is 5. So it's a +1, ladies and gentlemen. +1. Boom. All right, so we have a total burr of 7. 7 is the magic number.
All right. The Klingons roll a 3, modified to a 2. The Romulans roll a 4.
This is not going to go well for the Klingons. Just to let everybody know, this is not going well. Oh crap. Okay, so 2, 4. Right. So 2 with a burr 7. Goodness gracious. That is 18 points of damage that the Klingons have inflicted on the Romulans. And with a 4 and a burr 7, they have inflicted 25 upon me. This sucks. Okay, so this is particularly interesting because the vultures are beefier ships. They only have they have 10 defense. So 2 to 1 means I have to generate 20 points of damage to be able to cripple it. So I can't cripple it. So therefore, while I would like to cripple it, my 18 damage needs to be resolved normally. So what do you want to do, Daniel?
We're going to cripple. Let's see. He has 2 snipes in the line, right?
Correct.
That's 10. And then we're going to do something a little cheesy just to show some rules shenanigans here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so one of the Battlehawks is going to take a crippling hit and then take a destruction hit.
Oh, okay. So that's 5.
The rescue tug is going to save it from being destroyed.
Huh. Okay, so it's going to... How am I going to do this? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the far right corner, and the battle tug is now no longer available.
The rescue tug is no longer available.
Sorry, rescue
However,
tug.
What's cool about that was it took 8 damage but did not get killed.
Yes. Resolving the 18.
Resolving the 18. So is that enough now?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was 18 damage. So now I got to resolve 25. Awesome.
So 18 is directing against the D7C.
Can I just share how much I love you, Dave? Thank you so much. Just like, can I send you a gift basket?
Yeah, Dave's instructions were to whittle the compot, even if it didn't have a falcon.
I hate you. Okay, so 18, and I kill the D7C.
You cripple the D7C. It doesn't kill it.
Sorry, cripples it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
it takes
right.
28 to actually direct kill a D7C.
Oh, okay. So we got 18 damage resolved, and
then the rest is all yours.
All right, cool. Oh, well, this is interesting. Okay, so we got 7 points remaining. So we're going to kill 2 of these guys, the F5Cs. So F5C1, F5C2, that's 6 points of damage. 1 more remaining. Okay, we will take out an F5.
So an F5 gets crippled?
Crippled.
That should give you plus points, right?
Yes. So if there was 1 point remaining of damage, so I crippled a 4 defense ship, meaning there are -3 points going into the next round.
Excellent.
So now, with the Klingons changing up their battle line, technically, as I recall, the D7C is still a 5 attack ship, and I didn't say anything about protecting it, so despite the fact that I want to pull it out of the battle line right now, I cannot. because I'm an honorable person.
Here's the next thing you're going to love about Dave. There are instructions that when a battle hawk is crippled, there will be in-battle repairs conducted on it to bring it back into fighting.
Oh, that's going to cost him money. All right.
That's going to cost him 2 EPs and half of the repair capability, the battle repair capability of the station.
Right. So, folks, if you're watching on the battle mat here, I've just because there's a 3 F5 counter here. What I've done is I've replicated. I'm going to delete this. I've populated 3 independent counters for F5Ms because I have to put them in here, and I just deleted the 3 counter. There's still 1 3 F5 counter remaining, and I'll have to do that next turn. So right now, we go down the list. Tug is 11. We have no more 9. We have a 5 for the D7. We have a 5 for the F5C, 5 for the F5C, 5 for the F5C, 5 for the F5C, 5 for the 6th one, and then the 7th is a F5, which is a 4 attack. 4, 4, 4, 4. Total combat, or total compot of 57 for the attacker. The defender, how are they going to swap things out?
His fixed Battlehawk goes back in, and then he replaces the snipes.
The one that he rescued?
Yep. He rescued it. It got repaired.
Oh.
Now it's back in the battle line.
Okay.
Cheese. Pure cheese.
That is sneaky.
And he can do that one more time.
Okay, so that's done. And then what does he want to do with the 2 snipes?
The
so currently,
cycle in uncrippled snipes.
Okay, so we have 2.
So he should have 1 snipe left in reserves, right?
Correct. So as it stands right now, just as a quick recap for our players at home, the current battle line for the Romulans is a vulture. I'll do that concurrently while I'm changing things here. So we have 3 vultures, 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 8s. We have KEMs, of which we have 4 of them. So 5, 5, 5, 5. We have 2 Battlehawks, one of which was just recently repaired in situ. 1, 2. Incidentally, that's a very advanced rule when it comes to F&E, being able to use your YDK to repair ships in battle. Called, I think, is it battlefield repair? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But it's expensive. It costs you. It's 2 to 1, isn't it?
It costs you 1 EP per hull,
which is different than normal repair,
double,
which is half an EP per point of damage.
Yes.
So, important to note. Right, and so the last 2 are snipes, which are 4 and 4. Again, providing us a 72 total attack factor for the defender and 57 for the attacker. That means that this is probably the last battle round where the Romulans will have a complete battle line with no crippled ships. Currently, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 snipes in reserve that are crippled, 1 that is not crippled. They have a crippled Falcon, which is the Mauler. 2 of those, 2 crippled Falcons, a KEM, which is their cruiser, and I'll just put them all stacked up here. So we have a total of 4 crippled snipes, 1 non-crippled snipe, 2 crippled Falcons, 1 crippled KEM, the rescue tug, which is no longer available, and that's it. The Klingons, they currently have a full battle line with the crippled D7C due to my terrible battle orders. We have a crippled F5M in reserve, a total of 4 non-crippled F5Ms in reserve, and a total of 17 E4Ms in reserve. This could go an interesting direction. So, right.
This is where the numbers start to tell.
Now we're going to battle round number 6.
Battle round 6. Still same BIR, 2.
So 2 for the Romulans, 4 from the Klingons. We're rolling for variable burr. It is a 5, so it remains as a +1. Total burr for this round is 7.
Both sides rolling a 2, which is a 1 for the Klingons and the 2 for the Romulans.
Okay, so that's good in the sense of the lower the numbers for both, the better. EW advantage obviously sucks for me, but it is what it is. So with a 7, looking at our attacker and defender, so with a 1 for the attacker and a 7 burr, that is a total of 16 points of damage inflicted. For a 2 and 7, that is a total of 22 points of damage. Applying the 3 points of negative points brings us down to 19 damage to be resolved. So, the Romulans, again, I wanted to direct damage the vultures, but I can't. So, 16 points of damage to be resolved normally. How would you like to resolve that, Daniel?
Let's see. 2 snipes, 2 battlehawks.
Okay, so for those of you counting at home, that's a total of 20 points of damage being resolved in the crippling. So that leaves us with -4 points for the Romulans. And 19 points of damage against me.
I have to keep following the instructions here, and actually I would prefer not to do this, but 10 points to kill the D7C.
Okay, 9 points remaining.
Yep, and the reason for this is he just gave direct damage orders. He did not give them linked to a mauler.
Ah, okay.
So, and then the rest of it as you please.
Oh, right. So 9 points of damage remaining. Okay. So we're going to, as per my battle orders, so normally, if I was playing this in real time, I might cripple the F5s first because the F5s have less attack factor than the F5Cs, right? But what did my battle orders say? The battle orders,
F5Cs take crippling and then destruction.
Right. So I was crippling and killing the F5Cs first, which sort of sucks, but that's the way I wrote it. So there are 9 points remaining. So 1 F5C will be crippled, which is 6, and then destroyed, which is 3. So that's a total of 9 points resolved. So
that's efficient.
That's it. So that is the end of round number 6. There are -4 points remaining for the Romulans, and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to reshuffle a little bit here on my board, and as I did before, I'm going to create 3 more F5s and eliminate this 3 F5 counter, and I'm going to replace with F5s. So I currently have a battle line as we go through the attacker. We have a flagship still at 11. We have F5Cs. We have 4 of them. So they're at 5 attacks. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the remainder are F4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total attack factor, 55. The Romulans, how are they going to swap and play?
The Romulans do their final repair, and that Battlehawk goes back to being repaired.
Okay.
The crippled Battlehawk drops out of the line and is replaced by the last uncrippled Snipe B, meaning there's 2 crippled Snipe Bs in the line now.
All right. So this is where things are going to start to change because the crippled chips are going to stack up. So interesting how the beginning of the battle was very much in favor of the Romulans. We'll see how the tail end goes. So we've still got 888, which are the 3 vultures. We've got the KEMs, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. No, I can't be that right. 4 of those, excuse me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1 Battlehawk, which is a 4 attack. We have 1 Snipe B, which is a 4 attack. We have 2 crippled ships with a 2 and a 2. Our total attack factor for the Defender, Romulans, 68, 55 for the Klingons. Going into round number 7. This is the longest battle I think we've had.
I apologize to the viewers.
Oh my God. And so just as this is why we wanted to do this, because A, this is such a pivotal battle. B, this is taking forever to do, right? This is how long it takes to resolve these battles. And hopefully it's entertaining for you watching to sort of see how this goes. So you let us know in the comments at this point in the chat. If you're watching on the replay in the comments, if you're watching us live in the chat, what is it that you like or dislike about this? Are you finding it educational? Are you finding it entertaining? Is there any sense of like anticipation of like on the edge of your seat? I know I am, but I'm involved in the combat. What is it like for you? What do you think? Let us know, and we'll carry on here. All right, so round 7.
This is also a really good example of...
calculate our burr. Still 4 for the Klingons, 2 for the Romulans still?
Yes, 2 for the Romulans.
All right, let's roll for variable BIR.
So I was going to say, this is also a good example of best laid plans. You give these orders, and like now, until you can hit 20 points of damage, you're stuck in phase 1 because of those vultures.
Yeah. 2. That is a -1 on our burr. So this actually works out for me, strangely enough. Okay, so it gives us a 5 total burr. Let's roll our attacker and defender.
All right, the Klingons roll a 4 down to a 3. The Romulans roll a 3.
Oh, okay, so 3 and 3 equal. All right, so with a battle intensity rating of, oh shit, where were we? 5, there we are. All right, so battle intensity rating, where's my mouse? 5, and it's both the same for both. So we rolled a 3. That is 15 damage. So 15 damage for the attacker, that's me. I'm inflicting 15 damage. The defender inflicts 19 damage.
And the Romulans had a -4 going into this round.
Yeah, so there's a total of 11 damage points to be resolved. Oh my god. Well, I'm never going to get those bloody vultures. Okay, so 11 points of damage to be resolved normally. How would you like to resolve that, Daniel?
Oh, you're taking 11?
No, I'm dishing 11 to them.
You're dishing 11 out. Right. Okay. Cripple a snipe. Cripple a battle hawk. That's 10?
That's 10. 1 point remaining.
Kill one of the crippled snipes.
All right, crippled snipe dead. All right, so there's a -1 point remaining for the Roms. Let's go to the Klingons. We have 19 points of damage. Any directed damage?
I don't think I did 36 damage, so I can't hit your tug.
No, I don't think we're ever going to get to that number. But we have 19.
Dealer's choice.
So what would you like to do? Would you like to target the F5Cs, or is it normal damage resolution?
It's normal damage from here on out.
Okay. As per my battle orders, and in hindsight, not the best choice, in my battle orders, I am crippling and destroying the F5Cs in sequence before I go to the other ships. So
you thought you'd be in phase 2 by now, to be fair.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go. So we're going to flip and destroy an F5C. That's 9 points of damage, 10 remaining. There will be another cripple and destroy of an F5C, which is 1 point remaining. And so here's the thing. Normally, if you have damage that equals to 50% or more of your lowest unit in the battle line, you have to cripple that unit. If it's less than, which is the case here, you can leave it as a plus point for the next round. I don't think in my battle orders I said anything about that one way or the other. So then, if I'm interpreting the battle orders correctly, because I can't cripple an F5 in this case to carry over negative points, I would leave it as a plus point.
As a plus point. Okay. Agreed.
So just to be fair, just to be clear, I don't want to do that. I would rather cripple a ship and take the minus points, but that's how I wrote my battle orders. So that's the way it is. So with that said, I'm going to replace the battle line with 2 F5Ms. How are the Romulans going to swap out their battle line?
They're going to put a crippled snipe into that hole in their line.
All right.
And the crippling part of their line now is going to start creeping up.
Mm-hmm. So as we're going through, the attacker has, as we go here, we have 4. Oh my God, 2. We only have 2 F5Cs left. So 1, 2, and the remainder are all F5Ms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 53 total attack factor for the Klingons. The Romulans still have those 3 vultures, bastards. 2, 3. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 KEM. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 2. Well, basically the rest of the. Oh, the Battlehawks cripple differently. That's important. So the Battlehawk cripples as a 3. There's 1 Battlehawk that's crippled and 3 crippled snipes, which are 2 apiece. So 2, 2, 2. Total attack factor for the Romulans, 65. Total attack factor for the Klingons, 53. Battle round number 8.
This is going.
Okay, so we are at 4 still for the burr for the Klingons. 2. Oh, and we get a +2. We get a +2. I'm going to be drinking more than 1 beer, I think. All right, so 6 total burr of 8. For this isn't, so just to be clear, guys, this sucks for me. The bigger the burr at this point, the worse it is for me because the difference is greater. All right. Anyways, 8
All
burr.
right. Klingons roll a 5.
Down to a 4.
Push down to a 4. Romulans roll a 4.
Oh, okay. Well, so 4 and 4 is not terrible, but keeping in mind the difference in the numbers, you know, the Romulans just are going to outperform me for at least 2 more turns at least.
The EW difference has cost you a lot of damage.
It has. And to be fair, I didn't necessarily anticipate that they were going to target my scout, although to be fair, it's a smart move. This is the deficiency or the weakness of having low defense factor scouts in your battle line because they can be easily targeted. By example, the D6EM is a scout or has scout functions. It's normally a survey cruiser, just like the PE is for the Romulans, and it has a 7 defense. So they would have to do 21 damage to destroy it, to cripple it, and then more to destroy it. So crippling it would eliminate its scout functions, but you can see the difference there, like 12 versus 21. That's a significant difference. So, anywho, right. So we rolled a 4 for the attacker at a burr 8, makes it 20 damage to be resolved. 20 damage inflicted on the Romulans, and 24. What? No, that can't be right. 4, 8? Yeah, 24. Huh. I was expecting a bigger differential there. So 20 points against the Romulans, 24 against the Klingons. How would the Romulans like to... Oh, 20 points is the magic number. Woohoo!
There's a -1 coming over from the Romulan.
Oh, son of a... Oh, my God. You're right. So 19. 19
and
points.
a +1 to the Klingons.
And a +1. So 25 damage to be resolved for the Klingons and 19 for the Romulans. Damn! All right. So 19 damage. This will probably actually work out better for me. All right. So 19 damage. How would you like to resolve that, Daniel?
That is going to be 3 crippled King Eagles.
Oh, okay. So 3 crippled King Eagles is 24 points of damage, which gives you... What? Okay.
I'm just following orders.
So, wow. Okay. So that's a very interesting choice because it gives them -5 for the next round, meaning they crippled a ship they didn't necessarily have to, but they've got 5 points of damage that they can resolve, they can soak up for next turn. So that's very interesting. So -5. For me, again, still focused on having to crush and kill these F5Cs. So they're 9 damage apiece to cripple and then destroy. So cripple and then destroy. Cripple and then just flip that bad boy. And then destroy. So that's a total of 18. Yeah, 18 damage resolved, meaning there is still 7 points remaining. So I will cripple, and again, I didn't necessarily want to do it this way, but the way I wrote the orders, I am crippling and destroying ships sequentially, meaning that the F5, so the remainder of the ships here are F5Ms, so the F5 gets crippled and then destroyed, which is 7 points of damage, because it's a 4-4 and then a 2-3 when crippled, so that's 7 points of damage resolved, which is exactly the number I need. So, man, they are killing me here. Okay. So as we recalculate everything here, we're going to start throwing in some E4Ms in a minute. We're going to reshuffle everything here. And as I wrote it, because there are no longer any uncrippled F5Ms, I have to put the crippled F5M in the battle line, as I understand it. I said the way I wrote my battle orders. And then supplement with E4Ms to make up the difference. So currently the battle line for the Klingons looks like this. We have the battle tug still rocking it at 11. Rocket. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 E4Ms. So they're all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a crippled F5, which is a 2. And then we have 2 E4Ms at 4 and 4. Total attack factor for the Klingons is 49. How would the Romulans like to reshuffle their battle?
A quick question. That F5M isn't as good as an E4. Aren't you trying to make the best battle line?
Yes, but I said in my orders that I would cripple and destroy the ships sequentially. So I'm happy. Like, I would want to put an E4M in there. I'm just... You let me know, Daniel. As I wrote those orders, what is your interpretation?
F5C takes crippling damage plus be destroyed. Continue with sequential damage resolution. Completely destroy the ship before moving to resolve battle damage. And then replace... Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So I think I don't want it to be that way, but that's the way I wrote it. So that sucks. Mental note for next time. Okay. How would the Romulans like to reconfigure?
It does not change.
At all. Oh, interesting. So this is going to be a pivotal battle round. I think this might be the round that things swap. Okay, so we still
have no non-crippled ships left to put into the line.
Right. So we still have the 3 vultures, which are fantastic ships. Kudos to Dave. Then we have KEM. So we have 3 of them crippled. 1, 2, 3. An uncrippled KEM, which is in the first position on the second row. So it's still a 5. We have a Battle Hawk, which is crippled as a 3. And 3 crippled SMBs. 1, 2, 3, all at 2. So there is now a 10-point differential between the attack factor of the Klingons at 49, the Romulans 59. We are now going into battle round 9. 999. As a reminder to everybody, and myself included, -5 points carrying over from the last battle round for the Roms, meaning that if I do 20 damage, it's only 15. So let's go to BIR. I'm still maintaining my 4. I'm assuming Romulans are still at 2. All right, this is where we're at. Let's rock and roll. Yeah! All right, we're back to a battle intensity rating of 8 total. Let's rock and roll. Rolling for the attacker and defender on their battle damage. What do we got? I'm assuming the black is the Klingon.
Yep.
So 2 for the Klingon, adjusted to a 1. 3 for the Romulans. That sucks for me. All right, so battle intensity rating is 15 points of damage. As a reminder, -5 means I only inflict 10 points of damage this turn. That sucks. 3 is the number they rolled with an 8. Oh, Jesus Christ. 21 points of damage that they are inflicting upon me. No adjustments necessary. All right. Well, okay. Let's start with the Romulans. How would you like to resolve your 10 points of damage, Daniel? You have currently 1 uncrippled KEM, the vultures, and everything else is crippled.
A KE will cripple, and a snipe will be destroyed.
Ooh. Which is exactly 10 points of damage. Okay. I have 21 points of damage. So as per the instructions, I'm going to destroy an F5M, which is 3. Hold on, what are we dead? So that's 18. So these are 7 points to cripple and destroy a piece. So I'll cripple 1, that's 7. Cripple 2 and destroy, that's 14. I have 4 points remaining, which means I cripple an F5, and that is perfect as far as the number of points resolved. So that's a total of 18 damage resolved, no plus or minus points after the fact. All right, let's fill the battle line from the Klingon.
The Romulans have met their retreat conditions.
Yes! Oh my goodness. Okay, so
the battle's not over.
Ooh.
Because there's still a base there.
Yeah. Okay, so this is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I was not expecting a retreat from them. Very interesting. Okay, so we are now in battle round 10. So normally what happens is the retreat option happens at the end of the resolution of battle, so in the sequence of events. So the defender has an option to retreat. Sorry, the attacker has an option to retreat. The defender has an option to retreat, and then the attacker gets another option to retreat. In this case, I'm not retreating. The Romulans, as I'm understanding what you're saying, Daniel, are going to retreat. And,
correct.
And so what that means, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Daniel, normally when there's a retreat, there is an option to pursue retreating ships. However, when there is a base in the hex, the base effectively covers the retreat, meaning all retreating ships are able to retreat without pursuit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And therefore, so at this point, all Romulan ships are going to leave the battle line and retreat, and the only thing remaining will be the base. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So I will move everything off the battle line. So we got a whole crap ton of cripples here. I'm going to try and group all the snipes together. Battlehawks together. King Eagles together. So interesting.
So I believe we moved to phase 2 now because there are no vultures left.
We are at phase 2. Okay, and so this will dramatically change. So this is battle round number 10. So there's still a battle occurring because the base is still there, and I get to go. So there are no ships in the defenders thing here. So I'll just remove all those. No prime teams either, right?
No prime teams either.
Okay, so the total attack factor for the defender is 48. I'm still at 49. No, hold on. Let me just redo that. I'm not 49. I've got 4. I got a crippled F5, which is 2, and then the remainder roll 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Whoops, not 44. All right, so I'm 49. 49 attack factors versus the 8 for the defender. Burr, I'm still 4. Are you still at 2?
You get to choose their BIR because they cannot move.
Of course. So here's a thing. When you don't have a ship unit in with a base, when the base is defending, the attacker with the ships gets to pick the battle intensity rating for both. Why is that the case? Because I get to move around and the base is stationary, therefore I get to pick the intensity of the battle. If I choose to engage or not, or stand off, I get to choose that. So in my case, I'm going to pick maximum burr for both. So let me just adjust this. Boom, boom. And now variable burr, roll for variable burr. It is a 2. 2 is a -1. So we are now at a burr of 7. And roll for the attacker and the defender.
Okay, the attacker and the defender.
Oh, attacker gets a 1, can't go. Oh, so this is interesting. Attacker is a 1 and the defender is a 2. There's still an EW shift. So what that means is when you're at the lowest possible level, your battle intensity rating will go down by 1. So our normal battle intensity rating here is 7. I'm going to a 6-1 as opposed to a 7-1. So that's interesting to note. And then the defender's at a 2. So for the defender, at a 2 with a 7 battle intensity rating, they will inflict 2 points of damage upon me. And me, as a 6 with a 1, will inflict 12 points on them. Why is that important? Because it doesn't kill the base in one go. So 12 points of damage would be the equivalent of 3 SIDS, correct?
3 SIDS.
So 3 SIDS of damage. What does that mean? They're not crippled yet. So they have 3 SIDS. SIDS being starbase incremental damage system. With a YDK, each SID is 4 points of damage. 4 times 3 is 12. That's the 12 points of damage there. So that is 3 SIDS worth of damage, but they are still not crippled, meaning their attack and defense factors don't change. Me, I got to take 2 points of damage, so I can resolve damage normally now because we're in phase 2. So I'm going to cripple an E4M, and that's leaving me with a -1 point because they are 3 defense, so I have a -1 point. All right, next battle round, I'm going to swap out my E4M, put in a new E4M, and because I'm no longer doing damage sequentially, I'm swapping out my F5 that was crippled and putting in a new E4M, which means I am all 4s other than my battle tug. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. What does that mean? 51 attack for me, 8 attack for the defender, and I get to pick burr again. I'm going to go 4/4, and we roll for variable burr. 4, no change. So it is a burr 0. Total burr is 8. And yeah, 5 adjusted down to a 4 for me. And what was that? Was that a 2? 2 for the defender. All right, so a 4 at where are we here? A 4 at an 8 burr is attacker 4 8 is a total of 19 damage, which is going to destroy the base, and I get 2 at an 8 burr is 3 points of damage against me. So 19 is. So, for example, 19, there's 4 points remaining. So we'll take away 4. That gets us down to 15. You cripple the base, and there are 8 defense points left. The 15 kills it. The base is destroyed. I take 3 points of damage, which means I cripple an E4M, and we're done. So
that's the battle.
That is the battle. Wow. Okay. Let's go back to the chat. All right, so that was exciting. So, what does this all mean now? When I look at the, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. So, what was the end result of that battle? How many ships were destroyed on either side, and what kind of exciting outcome can you expect in our upcoming campaign? Well, let me tell you. From the Klingon side, what kind of casualties did we incur? Oh, Jesus. I lost a total of 10, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 F5Cs. I lost an E4SM, that was the scout that got popped early. I lost 3 D7Cs. I lost a D6M. And I lost 4 F5s. Surviving the battle are 2 E4Ms that are crippled, 1 F5 crippled, and non-crippled ships we have, let's see here, 10 E4Ms in reserve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 E4Ms survived, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 F5Ms survived, again unscathed, and then the TGAM. So a total of 4 cruisers, 10 destroyers, or 10 light cruisers, we'll call them. 4 destroyers and a scout were destroyed on the Klingon side. On the Romulan side, they lost, of course, their YDK. They lost 3 Snipe Bs, 2 Falcons, and crippled, oh my goodness, they crippled a total of 5 Snipe Bs, 5 King Eagle Ms, 2 Falcons, 2 Battlehawks, and they have remaining 3 Vultures uncrippled, 1 Tug, YFB, Y-Air Tug, uncrippled, and 2 Prime Teams. So, what is that going to
Pelican.
be? I don't know. That's some exciting stuff. Okay, let me...
that is a Pyrrhic victory.
Seriously, like how much crap did I lose to be able to fight that fight? Now, to be fair though, like the Romulans have been avoiding these consequential battles the entire time. Like I've been trying to engage them in battles that would have substantial and sizable outcomes, and they've just been avoiding it the entire time, which is a huge pain in my butt because you know, I wanted to be able to inflict damage upon them, and they kept cloak retreating and preventing that from happening. So they were successful in totally avoiding the entire thing. Now, what's going to happen as a result? So in the retreat order, because I'm attacking, I have the option to retreat and retrograde. Spoiler alert, as per my instructions, nothing is retroing. Everything stays in position, which is probably not the usual. the Romulan ships, because they're retreating out of the hex, there's only one or two places they can go, but they can't retrograde. So on their turn, they will have to move to bases to try and repair. We'll have to see what the supply situation looks like, but nonetheless, it's a very sort of interesting dynamic at this point. So, yeah, what do you guys think? I know that was a long battle. Geez, we are at an hour and nearly 40 minutes here just doing that battle. That is crazy. So I see there's a lot of chat here. I'm going to pick up from where Daniel fired his coffee. So we're still talking about the Echo. The Echo is gone. Oh, this audio configuration is actually the best for us. That was what George was saying. Duffy says, hi, Tony, Daniel, and everybody. Woohoo! And then we got the Klingon feedback loop coffee that was fired. Bill says, Wiley and Wascally, those Womulans. So true. Tony, you have put the F5C back in. That was what I was referring to when I mapped, again, sort of what I did with the F5Cs. So hopefully if you watch that again, I didn't somehow incorrectly put an F5C in there. Paul then says, it's okay, you sorted it out. George Duffy, 211. What does 211 stand for? Is that the total attack or defense factor somewhere? Maybe I miscalculated something. Eugene, after the battle, what do Klingons think they should have done differently? Well, see, this is the challenge with this kind of game, is that you don't, whereas Federation Empire as a tabletop game is designed to be played in real time with players, and you get to dynamically change your strategies in response to what's happening on the board. We didn't have that, or we don't have that in the way we played this game, because Daniel lives in Austin, Texas. I live in Victoria on the west coast of North America. We have folks in the UK, in Australia. We just don't have the physical or time zone availability to be able to in the same spot at the same time. So what we do is we process turns in a sequential way, turn-based, but we have to submit our orders or our instructions for our turn based on what we see at the map, which is why I had the order of initiative is important, because in this case, for example, the Romulans have initiative, meaning anytime they get the map back and look at it, whenever you've seen these turns, when you look at the map, you get to respond to what you see on the map. I, having the later initiative, have to anticipate what he may do and respond or write up contingencies to respond to what could possibly happen. It's a lot more. It requires a lot more thinking and sort of concentrated thought to be able to map that out. And then you can only do so much. If you're overly specific in your instructions and something outside of those specific instructions occurs, well, you're hooped. So the best you can do is provide intent and then see what happens. Daniel, what do you think? Because, of course, you're the GM. You manage all this. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're exactly right. There's definitely a burden being the second player, the one without initiative. You kind of have to just guess, and your orders have to have a lot of conditionals. If this happens, here's what I do. Yeah, the nature of the beast.
Yeah, totally. And so the initiative thing is important. So there was a sequence of events that just recently happened around trying to shift the initiative. Now, the mechanics about how initiative is calculated is based on your economy. When you're in an alliance, which there are still some players that are in alliances, factions that are in an alliance pool their economies together to calculate their sequence of play. So previously, we had basically two factions. We had the Three Powers Alliance, which was Tholians, Gorn, Romulans. All three of those guys together pooled their economies together. It was smaller than the Four Powers Alliance, which was Klingons, Carnarvon, ISC, Remans. Now, in an effort to try and get ahead of the initiative, the Klingons left the alliance. Now, to be fair, on the player side, I had a miscommunication and a misunderstanding about how that sequence of events was going to occur. And I jumped the gun with my announcement about when that transition, or when I was going to leave the alliance. Because my intent was, if I had left the alliance at the right time, then the Romulans would still be in their alliance, and when the initiative was calculated, I would have the advantage. in the sense I would have the initiative. I would be in a position to be able to move first, forcing the Romulan player to start that cognitive load, that, overthinking to try and figure out what I was doing. And because he's been used to writing his orders in a way that he just responds to what he sees on the map, I was hoping I could catch him off guard with at least one or two mistakes on his part. And I would move first, again, catching him flat-footed. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I jumped the gun too early. He came out of his alliance, and so nothing changed substantially. The way it is right now, the Carnivon, the Klingons, and the Romulans all remove themselves from their alliance. So in a sequence of play, the Carnivon go first, then the Romulans, then the Klingons. And I'd have to do the math, but I think it goes Tholi and Gorn, then ISC Riemann. Is that correct, Daniel?
Actually, ISC Riemann's go ahead they have a half point less.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, so there you go.
Then the Tholi and Gorn.
So the Tholi and Gorn go last now. So that sort of sequence of events is very important because it gives you, like, from a player perspective, a tactical advantage in how you're able to execute what it is you want to do. So, like I say, I was doing what I was doing to try and get ahead of them. Didn't work out, and so here we are, and we had this battle. So I'm really happy that we had this battle because this is what I was aiming for. This was the objective of the Klingon strategy, to nail them down to a decisive battle and hopefully eliminate that base. Because with the elimination of that base and the crippling of their main fleet, for all intents and purposes, they're hooped. So we'll see how this goes. Back into the chat here. Bill says, I also sold him a repair tug. Not sure if he did or didn't. Paul says, it's great apart from the echo. I guess I'll have to listen to it when we're done here to see about that echo.
I'll get headphones.
Gamer8567 says, really good, and I am enjoying watching it all play out and the tactics. Well, thank you, Gamer. I'm glad that you're getting some out of this. This is good. Eugene says, it is educational. I'm enjoying it. Nice to see the best laid plans meet the enemy and see the results. Bill says, dice rolls will decide the rest of this battle. I would have possibly crippled the base at least. Carnies and Gorn have a battle about to start with 90-plus ships. Wow. I can't remember what the ship count was. I did the math on the total attack factors, but what was the... Hold on. Let me try and pull up my...
It was a lot.
Where was the total ship count here? We had a total of 1, 5, 6, 14, 16, 25, 26, 43 ships on the Klingon side, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 24 ships and a base. So not 100, but it was very much a high number of ships. At least on this battle. But again, this battle was really pivotal in how it happened. And I promised you all that this was going to be a brews and battles session. So in celebration of Klingon victory, I am popping that can and pouring that beer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Klingons are victorious. Woo, let's not spill that all over me. So anyways, yes, very exciting. Really, really enjoyed this battle. Play it with you, Daniel. I don't know.
Same here.
Any other sort of comments or last things that you want to add when it comes to sort of battles in the future?
This is just a terrific example of how hard it is to take down a defended fixed position. And people should just keep in mind, like assaulting a starbase is not lightly done unless you catch them off guard.
And that's a really good point, or a really good way to illustrate the success of the Romulan strategy up to this point. They swarmed my border. So at the time when they initiated their war against me, I didn't have a lot of ships on the border. They swarmed me with a lot of ships, basically almost their whole fleet, and they caught a lot of my bases without defending ships. which, as we saw, they get to decide burr. They get to basically pulverize the crap out of what I had, and the bases that I had along the border were not built up. Why would you do that, Tony? Well, up until this point, the Romulans and I had a veneer of a good relationship, and we had been trading back and forth, and there's this status quo about sort of professional friendliness, shall we say, between us. Obviously, I was incorrectly reading that relationship, and the Romulans pulled that talon and stabbed me in the back. It seems to be a theme for the Klingons. They get stabbed in the back often, and perhaps I'm too trusting. I thought I was pretty warmongering overall, but maybe I need to be more warmongering in an effort to try and eliminate this backstabbery that keeps happening to me. I don't know. We'll have to see. Or maybe it's just the influence of those dirty Romulans. We'll have to see. We'll see what happens when they're eliminated from the game, and see what happens. But I will say, the war to this point, the experience of fighting the Romulans, and even this battle, I've got to take my hat off to Dave, and Dave being the Romulan player, because he has done an excellent job in using what he has to inflict the most amount of damage and have the best outcome. I would be worried about encountering him in the next game, because he's definitely learned a lot from our encounters, and he's adapting very quickly. He is learning, and he is applying what he's learned to great effect. There are some sort of structural things he couldn't get past in this particular game, as far as the distribution of the economy and the constraints around Romulan ships and their types and sort of their capabilities and limitations. But with the advantages that he has, i.e. cloak and various other things, he's really executed those well. And so, again, hats off to Dave. He has done an excellent job. I have thoroughly enjoyed everything up to this point when it comes to the battles, the wars, and everything we're having. It's fantastic. And all in good fun, because at the end of the day, it's a war game. We're about, it's around fighting each other, and how much you enjoy that combat, which I do, is all about how you enjoy the game. So again, hats off to Dave. Fantastic war and combat. Nothing but the best to say about it. So with all that said, I guess I will leave you with this. If you haven't already joined us on our Discord channel, you can head over to that link just between Daniel and I on the bottom there, and you can head over to coffee.com/New Worlds, and you can join us in our Discord channel for our after show party, so to speak, where we often describe and discuss sort of how the game is going, what happened, and so on and so forth. We also have channels there that talk about the story and the narrative, the role-playing aspect of what's going on in the game. We have more than
a
one
little
campaign.
Trash talk.
What's that? Sorry?
And a little trash talk.
A little trash talk. We throw some fun-loving shade at each other often, and but again, all in good fun, and it's all we're all just having a good time doing it. So if you want to join us doing stuff like that, then please head over to that link, join us on our Coffee and Discord channel, and you can pop in. And also, if you do that, you'll be help funding Daniel getting some earphones. So please feel free to help Daniel get earphones so that we don't have to deal with this again. Have you enjoyed Daniel being on screen? Because I know I have, and we can potentially encourage him to do more of this live battle resolution or whatever it is we want to do with Daniel on screen. The more, the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. With that said, thank you very much, everybody. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and we will see you, hopefully, in our Discord channel. Otherwise, next week, bye for now.